Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. We'll be starting in a few minutes, so at 11. All right, let's get started. So good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining the Servicem8 and QuickBooks webinar. My name is JP, and I look after a growing ecosystem of apps on QuickBooks. This is part of a series of webinars we're doing on the most popular apps. So for those who have attended our previous webinar, welcome back. And for everyone new, very pleased to have you here and to learn about Servicem8. So just a few words of admin before we get started. Please type any questions in the GoToWebinar chat, and we will go through all your questions and try to answer as many as possible towards the end of the demo. And this webinar is recorded, and we will be emailing all of you a recording if you have a hard stop and need to leave. So lastly, a few announcements. If you want to reach out to us and talk about apps, you can join our Facebook group. So apps you want to learn about, apps you want to see integrated to QuickBooks, just leave a message and we'll get back to you. And we also have a series of Get Connected events. So in Perth, Brisbane, Melbourne, and Sydney. So if you're available, do come to these events and meet the team. We'll provide some announcements about the products, some talks about how to run your practice more efficiently, and you can also meet a few of our partners. So with that being said, I will pass it over to Sky from Servicem8, who will take you through the demo today.
Hi guys, my name's Sky. I work at Servicem8 as the partner manager. So today I'm just going to go through a few things about Servicem8 with you. So we'll cover what Servicem8 is, who it's generally intended for, a couple of our Servicem8 features. We'll run through a demo to show you how it works, and then we're going to go over the partner program and also the QuickBooks Online discounted apps program. So what is Servicem8? Servicem8 is a job management system that streamlines a business's workflow from first call through to scheduling the job to your staff, completing the job, invoicing it, and then sending it through to QuickBooks Online. Servicem8 is designed to be used by everybody in the business, and it transforms the way a business runs. So Servicem8 is for trades and home service businesses. From sole trader up to 30 staff, and the type of businesses that go out and do jobs in the field. So one thing to note is that 30 staff isn't a hard limit. Just generally speaking, once you get over that point, you tend to have some different needs. So some of our typical businesses that would use Servicem8 would be electricians, plumbers, pool care, lawn care, locksmiths, or mobile mechanic. The issue that most of these businesses seem to face is the sheer amount of administration in managing so many different jobs, which can result in running late to or missing client appointments, being really slow to quote and losing jobs, and forgetting to invoice, which can result in really poor cash flow. Business owners tend to feel that they're drowning in paperwork and they're just really out of control. They know their trade really well, but it's managing the business and the paperwork side that they tend to struggle with. They really want to provide a professional service, but it's just too hard for them to keep up with everything. In most cases, once a business has implemented Servicem8 into their processes, then within 6 months, they seem to be winning more jobs, completing more work. They've got an improved cash flow. They're offering a more professional service, so their customers are a lot more happy. They're winning repeat work, and their admin time is reduced by around 50%, which is a massive difference for a lot of small businesses. With Servicem8 and QuickBooks, we offer an end-to-end solution that allows businesses to manage their staff, jobs, and customers from anywhere in the world as long as they have an internet connection. We're giving businesses their nights back, so they're not staying up till all hours of the night doing their invoicing and paperwork, and they're getting more of that work-life balance, which is what everybody really wants. I'm going to jump into a demo for you now and show you how Servicem8 works. So this is our Servicem8 dispatch board. As you can see, we have all of our staff on the left-hand side here. We can see our times for the day and all our jobs that we've got booked in, and on the right hand side we also have a list of all of our jobs. There's a couple of different views that this can be looked into. So for the staff schedule, your best view option is on a day-to-day basis, because you can see all the information you need to for the day for those jobs. We also have a calendar view. So this can be looked at in a day, week, a fortnight, or a monthly view. But again, if you want to get an overview of the week, that's probably the best view for you to look at. And then we have our dispatch map. So the dispatch map shows you all your jobs. You can filter what different types of jobs that you want to look at in that view. And also, if your staff are logged into the app, you'll be able to see in real time where your staff are as well. So we'll jump back into our schedule view, and we're going to create a new job. So all we need to do is hit the new job button, and Let's say we've just got a call from Jane. She's in a bit of a panic. There's water going everywhere in her bathroom and she thinks something's wrong with the tap. So because Jane's done work with us before, I can already pull up her client file. But if it was a new customer, I could put all of the details in as a new customer. So I'll click on Jane, and what I can see here is I've got her job address and all of her email and phone details, so I don't need to get them from her again. And when you integrate your Servicem8 account with your QuickBooks account, all your customer information comes across. So if you've been using QuickBooks for a little while and just start out using Servicem8, all that customer information will come through nice and easily for you. So Jane's got a broken tap. And we want to do a bit of a checklist for the staff member. So we'll get them to turn the water off. By me putting the dash and a space in front of the items, that will create a checklist item in the app. You know, take photo before job, place tap, and turn water back on. And another thing that I can do here is I can select a job category for the job. So our job categories can be completely customizable depending on the business and how they want to categorize their jobs. So we could just do standard for this one. At the end of the month, you can do reporting on the different types of jobs that you've done throughout the month. So I'm going to hit save the job. If I go into my all jobs list, a job for Jane has popped up the top here, and now I want to schedule it out to my staff member. So I can see here that Sky is free, and all I need to do is just drag and drop that in. It's gone in for an hour. I think it might take a little bit longer, so I can drag that out accordingly. So what I want to do next is I'm going to pop into the app, and then we can see what it would look like as the staff's perspective, them going out to complete the job. So we have our jobs here.
And Sky, just to interrupt you quickly, it's just a bit of delay in between when you kind of talk about the steps and showing on the screen. So just take it slowly when on the screen when you show the steps. Thanks.
No problems. Okay, so we can see my jobs list here, and our job for Jane has popped into that list for me at 11:15. So I can open that up, and I've got all my job details here. So I can see where Jane lives, and I can see that she's got a broken tap. So what I want to do is I want to start the job, and I'm going to hit navigate to job. It's asking me if I want to notify the client. So if I hit yes, I want to notify client. What that does is it sends an automatic SMS to Jane just to let her know that I'm on my way, and it looks like I'm approximately 37 minutes off. There's also an option for this that you can send a little a link on that SMS as well, and the customer can see the technician's head driving their way to your house as well. So that's pretty cool. So then it'll take us into either Google Maps or Apple Maps, depending on what you have set as your preference, and you can use that to navigate to the job so you don't get lost. While you're navigating to the job, it's going to track all your travel time, so you can see how long it's taking to get there, and then once we get to the job, it should automatically check us in. Obviously, I'm not in the location of the job at the moment, so I'll just hit arrived at job. So what that does, it'll stop my travel time, and now it's just recording my total time spent on the job. So if I want to scroll down here, I can see the checklist I created, and so I'm starting the job, turn off the water, I'll mark that off, and what you'll be able to see is the staff member date and time that has marked all those checklist items off if you have multiple staff working in the one job. And I'll hit this take photo before. And what that does is it takes me straight into the camera. So I can take a photo of my sink. If I wanted to add a tag to that, I could. So I could go before or after the job, or I could add a new custom tag as well. So I'm going to save that. And if I wanted to take a photo and there wasn't a photo in my checklist item, I can tap the camera button up the top here and use that to take a photo. Or I can go into my job actions, which is just the plus in the top right corner, and I can go down to my camera there as well. And I also have the option to take a short video if I need to. So I'm marking off my checklist items. The next thing that I want to do is I want to complete a job safety analysis report. So we have an add-on in Servicem8 called Forms, which is a really easy way to digitize paper forms inside your business. So it might be a safety form, or it could be a report, or a more comprehensive checklist that you want your staff to complete, or it could just be a quote acceptance form, something simple like that. So again, we'll go into our job actions and I'll scroll down to my forms, and it's given me an option of the forms I want to select. So I want to do a job safety analysis, and with forms, so they're completely customizable for you to create for your clients, or if they want to create them for themselves, to make the forms work for their business. But we also have a form store with a range of different forms that are available for purchase, and it might be suited to their specific business needs, and then they can buy them all ready to go. So we'll go through the set of questions. Generally with forms, it might be multiple choice. They might need to write an answer in, take a photo, capture a signature, that sort of thing. So we have no hazards. We'll say we need some PPE for our eyes, and I don't want to type this in, so I can use the voice to text function. Safety glasses needed. So that puts that in there for me, and then I can keep going along. So I'm just going to go through this nice and quickly. Depending on what answers I select, it might ask a different question either time. So then I'm going to sign that off. And what will happen is we'll create a nice professional looking PDF. So I have all the job details in here. You can see the job address, job number, the date. And I can also see all my answers that I've put in here. So I have my safety glasses and everything. So that's all done, nice and neat. I don't have to worry about my staff members' scrappy handwriting because I can read it all really easily. Now I have the option, if I wanted to, I can send an email of the form straight to my customer. Otherwise, it can just stay in the job diary just as a reference for the business. So we've gone out and we've replaced Jane's tap. We've stopped the water from going everywhere. So we're all finished. Now the last thing for us to do is we want to create her invoice. So we'll go into my billing. My checklist items have appeared on my work completed section for me. I want to add a little bit more information in here for Jane. So I'm going to use my voice to text again because it takes me too long to type it out. Attended site, replaced tap, and stopped water leaking. So that's all done. And now I just need to add some items onto my invoice. So I want to add some labor. If I use my smart labor button, what it does is it's recording the time that I've spent on the job, and it's given me the option to round the labour up to the nearest 15, 30 or 60 minutes, or I can just charge exactly the amount of time that I've spent on there. For this case, I'm going to round it up to 60 minutes because my business charges in hourly increments. I'll set that, and it puts my labour on there for me. The next thing I want to do is I want to add a new tap set. So I have the option to scan a barcode if I have my items set up with barcodes on them. Otherwise, I can just browse my items. I'll find my tap set, and I'm going to add that on. So I've got my invoice for Jane all ready to go. With just a tap of a button, I can produce a nice professional looking PDF to show Jane. It has all her details on it, all the work that I've done there, and a total price. So there are completely customizable templates for you to do your invoicing, and generally there's just a few standard ones on there that you can choose from, but otherwise that can be changed to suit the business's look. And so Jane's seen that, she's really happy, and I'm going to get her to sign off on that for me. So Jane signed that, and her invoice, her signature has appeared on the bottom of the invoice for me. And now I can send that invoice straight to Jane while I'm standing next to her in an email or an SMS. I'll choose email for this one. And we have a number of pre-populated templates in there. So these templates are completely customizable for each business. Obviously, they will maybe want to say different things, and they can also be added to as well if there's something additional we want to put in there for Jane. And we can add our attachments too. So with just a couple of taps, I can add the photos that I took on Jane's sink, and I want to give her the job safety analysis form as well. So that's all done. I'll hit send, and now she will get her invoice in the email. The last thing I can do is, if Jane's happy, she's got her credit card on her, I can take a payment from Jane. So I can take a card payment using our Stripe integration. So that's built into this system to be able to pop in the card number and take the payment on the spot. Otherwise, you can take a cash or check payment and just mark that as paid. For now, we're just going to leave that. We've emailed her the invoice, and she's going to pay me later on. So go back into the job. We're going to hit checkout because we're all finished, and we're marking the job as complete. I can put a final note in there if I need to, but I've already put my notes on the job, so I'm happy. And the next thing I can choose to do from the iPad is I can approve this invoice directly into QuickBooks from here by turning that button on down the bottom. Otherwise, maybe I have an accounts or an admin person in the office and they approve all the invoices, so I'll just leave it, and that can be done on the computer later on. So I'll hit finish. The job's changed from a work order to completed, and we can see that the colors change for that as well. So I'm just going to jump back in to the desktop now. And what we can see here is that our job for Jane is now a green color because that's been completed. If I open it up, I can see everything that's happened on the job. So if I scroll down, we have that text message that told Jane we're on the way. We have all of our checklist items, what time they've been completed, what staff members completed them. We can see our photos, our job safety analysis, the invoice we produced for Jane, and also the email we sent there. So we have a full history of the job and everything that's been done on there. So the last thing that we want to do is get that invoice into QuickBooks. So if we go into our invoicing tab, can find our job for Jane. Down the bottom here, job 1025, we can see that the invoice is for $112 and that we've already sent her an email of that invoice. If I wanted to double click on this again, I can double check everything's okay with the invoice. Before I send it off to QuickBooks, there's a spelling mistake in that, so I can fix that up. hit save, and all I need to do to get it to go over is hit the tick box and hit approve. So generally speaking, usually within a minute or so, that invoice will go straight into QuickBooks. So we can see now I've got a little tick here. So that means that it should be in there for me. So we can jump into QuickBooks now. I'll just refresh the page. And we can see here our job 1025 for Jane is already in there. So we can open this up. And we can see all our information. So all of our billing details have come through for Jane. Obviously we have the invoice total, and we have all our line items that we created, and then our little message on the invoice of the work that was completed. We can see that no payment's been received yet, so if we wanted to add a payment, we can do that now. So the things that come over in the QuickBooks and the Servicem8 integration is obviously your invoices. Once this job gets marked as paid in QuickBooks, that'll talk back to Servicem8 and tell us that the job has been marked as paid and mark it as paid in Servicem8. And all your customers and your materials and services sync between the two programs. So if you update a customer in QuickBooks, then it's going to update it in Servicem8. If you add a new item in Servicem8 on an invoice and send that invoice to QuickBooks, it's going to create the new item in QuickBooks for you. So you don't need to be putting the information in both the programs, because they will talk to each other and do all those updates for you, which is really great. Another thing you can do is you have your staff shift duration. So on the app, they're starting their shift and finishing their shift every day. You can send those times into QuickBooks and create a timesheet for them to do your payroll. So I'm just going to go through a couple of other features that we have in Servicem8. So we have a add-on called Services. So there's two parts to Services. There's the online booking form, and then we also have it in the job card as well. So for businesses that can break their services down into specific things, for a cleaning business example, for example, you know that generally speaking, if you go out and you're cleaning 3 bedrooms, a bathroom and a kitchen, it's going to take you X amount of time. So you know how to quote that really easily. So you can create those questions. Those questions, depending on what the customer answers, will give you a quote for them. So here we can see our online booking form. I can put my job address in here. So we'll go 60 Flinders Street. I would like a spring clean, and it's going to be for 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. I've got a living area and a kitchen. I'd also want them to change my bedding and clean my oven as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is select a time. And what I can see here is all the available times on the schedule that I can book in. So I'm thinking that 9 till 11 on Thursday, that works for me. So I'm going to select that. And then I just need to put my details in. So Bob Lake. And I'll put my phone number in. And we'll book in that service. So if we go back into Servicem8 now, and we go, I think we booked that in for Thursday, we can see our job has automatically been booked into our schedule for Thursday for Bob. I can open that job up. I can see all these answers to the questions, that it was automatically created from an online booking. And if I go into my quotes and invoicing, we have that invoice already all done. So the really great thing about services is that you can eliminate the need to have somebody to answer a phone and book that job in and find out what date works for the customer, or they can just go on your website and book that all in themselves, really nice and easily. So another really great feature that we have that is really useful to a lot of businesses is our automation add-on. So with automation, you have a couple of different options for it. You can send an automatic SMS or an email to follow up on quotes, on invoice payments, or to remind the customer of their booking. So on this job for Bob, what we want to do is all we need to go is our booking reminder, turn that badge on and hit save, and in 24 hours before his booking, he's going to get an SMS or an email or both, depending on how I set it up, to let him know that his job's booked in for 10 o'clock, which is really handy because you don't have to get somebody calling or sending emails or SMSs to the customer. It just all happens automatically for you. Okay, so getting started with Servicem8 is really easy. How we're set up is to allow the business owner to completely self-serve their setup in Servicem8. So we have an online live chat, which is monitored 24 hours a day. And we also have an email to help you out as well if there's any questions. But we have a library full of help articles and videos, and also our Getting Started guide. So if you sign up for a free 14-day trial with Servicem8, you can take a look at our Getting Started guide, and it's going to take you through step-by-step of how to get a feel for Servicem8, create a few jobs, and see if it's really going to work for your business. So it'll tell you what to do. You can watch some videos and find out exactly how to do that. Once you've decided that Servicem8 is right for you, you can also have a look at all of our help articles. We have it all broken down into different aspects of the business. So it might be management, admin, it can be your field staff, what they need to do on the app. And they have all their videos and help articles to help you along the way with that, to make it nice and easy. Obviously, we do have our customers that have maybe 5 or more staff members, or they just have no time to be able to get themselves set up. So for those clients, we have our partner network. So our Servicem8 partners help with consultations, setup, and training for our customers, and they're third-party partners, and we have them worldwide in Australia. So this is where something you might be interested in. So becoming a Servicem8 expert will help your clients improve their businesses, and you can also earn extra revenue while doing so, because we don't provide that service of going out to the customer and getting them set up. For those ones that do want it, you can help them to do that and get on their track of Servicem8 nice and quick and easily. And by being a Servicem8 partner, you'll receive a referral bonus for each customer that you sign up for Servicem8, as well as an ongoing revenue share as long as you are a partner. So there's a range of online courses and materials to help you learn how Servicem8 works. Obviously, we don't expect you to sign up to our partner program and just instantly know what you're doing. So we do have all those materials there for you. You can do our training courses and give you that knowledge that you need to feel comfortable to help set your client up. So your client can sign up for a 14-day free trial with Servicem8, or if you join our partner program, you can create them an account from inside your partner portal. Servicem8's also a part of the QuickBooks Discounted Apps program. So through this program, you can get Servicem8 for your clients at 20% off the retail price. You can choose to sign up to our Servicem8 partner program, but still use your QuickBooks Accountant program to sign up your clients to receive the discounted price. Or if you want to, you can simply just use the QuickBooks Discounted Apps program. Although if you do want to help with the onboarding and assisting them to get set up and training them how to use everything, we do recommend that you do sign up for our partner program, just so you have access to all of those tools to help you. And of course, being a part of our partner program, you will get access to a partner manager to help you with anything you need as well. So if you sign up for your clients through the Discounted Apps program, you won't receive the referral bonus and the ongoing revenue share from Servicem8, but you do get that discounted rate. So you have the choice to pass that on to your client if you like. And one thing to remember is that if you sign up your client through the Servicem8 partner program, they'll be responsible for their own billing. So if you want to take care of their billing and send them a monthly invoice for all the services that you offer and include Servicem8 into that, then it's best to sign up through the Discounted Apps program. So to create an account for yourself or for your clients through the Discounted Apps program, all you need to do is inside your accountant portal, go to the Apps tab and then select Servicem8 from the list. I think at the moment we're on the front page, but you might need to search for it depending on where it is. So you get taken to an overview page where you can hit the Get App Now button in the top right corner. And from there, you get the option to install the app for your own firm or for one of your clients. If you're installing it for your client, you get the option again to choose whether you want to be billed or if you just want to start a trial for your client and have them handle the billing. But if you're not handling the billing, then you don't get that 20% discount. So if you want them to get the discounted rate, then we definitely recommend that you handle the billing for them. Once you've selected who to install Servicem8 for, you'll ask to authenticate Servicem8 to have access to their company information from QuickBooks so that we can create the account. But if they already have a Servicem8 account and you just wanted to link it up with that, then you can just put their existing details in there. So that can be done there. And otherwise, you just create a password and then your new Servicem8 account will be created. So the first time that you log in to your new Servicem8 account, you'll get taken through a getting started wizard. So it'll take you through step by step of putting all your information in for the company, uploading your logo and all of that sort of thing. So that makes it nice and easy to get started. The discounted pricing is $57 a month, which is ex-GST, but that includes unlimited users and unlimited jobs. So it's a really great deal. And so this is only available if you are handling the billing for your client and you sign up through the Discounted Apps program. If you don't want to handle the billing for your customer, then what you have to do is you don't get access to this special. There's 4 capped pricing plans. So that's our standard pricing. It's from $29 a month and it bundles your jobs, SMS and different add-ons. But there's also unlimited users across all plans. So we really want everybody in the business to be logged in and have their own user for Servicem8 so that you have insight to see who's doing what, and it's just easier when everybody has their own login. So there's unlimited users across all plans, and then you just decide how many jobs per month your client is doing, and that will help decide what plan you need to be on. Most of our add-ons are included across all plans. There's just a couple that are only in certain plans through that. There's no lock-in contracts or anything, so you can cancel anytime, and there's also unlimited storage across all plans as well. So you don't have to worry about taking lots of photos and videos and all of that inside the jobs, because it's not going to cost you extra for having lots of data in there. So what you can do next, if you think that the partner program is something that you might be interested in doing, you can go to servicem8.com/partners and sign up for our partner program. Otherwise, if you need to know a little bit more information, you can feel free to shoot me through an email at sky.kelleher@servicemate.com. So that just about brings me to the end of my presentation. I'll hand it back over to JP now, and we'll answer some questions for you guys.
Yep. So Sky, if you can open the list of questions, I'll let you kind of pick up a few questions, about 20 of them. So given the webinar still has about kind of 20 minutes, I think we can answer most of them. And while you kind of look at the questions, just wanted to mention that the GoToWebinar tool doesn't do justice as to how fast the app is. So it's kind of slow on the screen, but I've used the app and it's very snappy, and that's something we hear from the small business using the app, especially on mobile. And Servicemate has worked a lot in terms of the performance. And I think you guys host your servers in Australia through Amazon. So just wanted to mention that while you pick up some questions, Sky.
Cool. Okay, so I've got a question here from Angie. Does it handle OHS paperwork required to be attached to invoices? So we can do those OHS forms through the forms add-on that I showed you, and you can easily attach those PDFs to invoices to send out to the customers. So that can definitely be done. The next question I have here is the app only available for Apple products? Yes, we are an Apple exclusive app. The web version is available across all platforms. It's just browser based. We do recommend that you use Google Chrome or Firefox or Safari, just because sometimes Internet Explorer can be a little bit buggy and you don't get the best experience with it. So yeah, it doesn't matter what computer you use it on, but for the app it does have to be either iPhone or iPad. Okay. When the job goes in, does this pop up on the staff member's phone? Yes, it does. So I had the app already open, so we didn't see that, but you do get a push notification for any schedule changes for that day. So if you're changing the time of a job, the staff member will get notified of that. If they're getting a new job allocated to them, they'll get notified of that. The only time they don't get notifications is if new jobs or schedule changes are happening for the following day or a week's time. It's mainly because sometimes you might have the business owner doing the week scheduling at 9 o'clock at night, and you don't want to annoy your staff members with constant notifications with that. But anything within that day, they will get notified for. Anything outside of that day, the updates will still appear on the app in real time. You just won't get a notification of it. Okay, our next question is from Kylie. Does this program also work for non-trade businesses, for example, small business support company? So yes, it definitely does. Obviously, trades is sort of our core businesses that it works for, but any type of business that handles like scheduling and they want to go out and do jobs, it can be used for. So it's not specifically for trades. We do have quite a lot of our bookkeepers actually using it just to be able to manage their jobs. There's some mobile hairdressers or pet groomers. There's all sorts of different types of businesses that Servicemate can be suitable for. It just really comes down to what their needs are. So if they just want to have a system that keeps all their job information in the one spot, like notes and photos and emails between the two, then Servicemate can definitely be suited for that. Yeah, it doesn't have to be specifically for trades. And the next one is, can checklists be saved in the system? So if you do the same type of job multiple times, so just say a replacement tap, for example, and you have a pretty standard checklist every time someone goes out and does a replacement tap, and you want that appear on jobs without having to type it out every time, we have job templates that can be created. So you can create a job template for tap replacement, put in that checklist, and then every time you create a new job, you can select the tap replacement template, and then that checklist will appear on the job. Okay, what have we got next? Asana integration. So we don't integrate directly with Asana, but we do integrate with Zapier. So Zapier, for those of you that don't know, is a program that integrates with heaps of different programs, and you can create a custom integration between two different programs using Zapier. So depending on what you want to do with Asana, you can create a Zapier integration with that, which is pretty straightforward. But yes, so using Zapier, we do integrate with Asana, but we don't have any direct integration with them. What else do we have here? So I'm just going through the list. Okay, so I have a pest control client who has a sheet of chemicals used, which he ticks, enters liters, it's used on the job. Could this be used up to go with the invoice as a separate page? If they're just wanting to say how much of each chemicals they're using, then we can probably create a form for that. We do have quite a lot of pest control businesses currently using Servicem8, and they use the forms for that purpose. So depending on specifically what they want, I would say yes, it probably can be done. Can a list of terms and conditions be added to go with the invoice? Yes, they can. So your invoice template can be customized. It's basically, it starts off as a Word document, and you use merge fields from Servicem8 to say what information from the job card that you want transferred to that template. And obviously, you can do a secondary page that has all your terms and conditions on it. So that can be done really easily. Where is the job number on the QBO invoice? So the job number, when it goes from Servicem8 into QBO, it turns into the invoice number. So that's how you know what relates to what. So your invoice number is always your job number. Can you enter a one-off item for an invoice that you don't need recorded as an ongoing item in QuickBooks? You can create one-off items. That is easily done. You just type the information in. It will still go into QuickBooks as an item. So whether or not you use it as an ongoing item, if you wanted to deactivate that item afterwards, you can do so. But when you're creating an item, it's always going to go into QuickBooks as a new item. If you had lots of one-off parts or items that you didn't want to go into, you can have an item that might be, say, miscellaneous. So the item code would be miscellaneous, and then you can just change the description and the price every time. So you're not constantly creating new items. That's a workaround for that one. Okay, I just need to make my box a little bit bigger. Might just do a couple more questions I think we have time for. Okay, when the invoice comes through to QBO with material supplied, does it come out of the inventory? Yes, it does. If you have stock levels set up in QBO, once an invoice sends from Servicem8 into QBO, then that will adjust the stock levels. Does the Stripe payment also transfer to QBO when the invoice is transferred? Yeah, so what happens with Stripe is that it will come across to say that it has a payment added. So the payment will come through to QBO. but you'll still need to match that when the money actually comes into the bank. But yes, it does come through as a payment, and you'll be able to see what type of payment that is. So for the next one I have is, looks like the job number equals the invoice number. How does this work for bigger jobs where there might be multiple invoices? So we have an add-on called partial invoicing for that, which what it does, you can create multiple partial invoices from from the job. So how it will work is, just say it's job number 100. You can create partial invoices and they will be 100A, 100B, 100C, 100D. So you'll have maybe the 5 invoices for the one job. They will all have the same number with just a prefix or a suffix added to it, so you can tell the difference between them. Okay, just wondering, does it come with OH&S paperwork, including the safety management plan? So I did mention earlier we have a form store, so you can purchase forms that people have created from the form store, which there are health and safety forms on there. Otherwise, you can create your own ones. So it comes with some sample forms, but with your safety management plan, that will be something that you'll need to do yourself. Okay, the next question I have from Teresa is, are all functions available on Android and iOS phones and computers? Okay, so I've already answered that one. So we're not on Android phones, but between the app and the computer, pretty much you have the same functionality. So the main difference is, so you can still create jobs on the app, schedule them to staff, and all that sort of thing. The really main thing that you don't have access to on the app, which you do on the computer, is your reporting, and also like staff control. So deciding what security you want your staff to have access to, and that sort of thing needs to be done on the computer, and your reports. But yeah, all the job management side of things, so job creation, invoice creation, quoting, all of that can be done across both platforms. Okay, I might just do one more question. We still have quite a lot on here. So what I'll do is I'll answer one more and then I'll follow up with you guys afterwards just to answer all the ones that I've missed. Okay, so does the partner plan cost the advisor anything? So at this stage, we have a special going, and our partner plan is completely free. Our partner program is completely free. So you sign up for the partner program. It has a $99 annual fee that's currently waived. And what it does, it gives you a Servicem8 account with 10 job credits a month. So you have access to all the training and everything. And you have an account that you can use to show demos to your clients, and it won't cost you anything. We also have the ability for you to create other demo accounts to do anything like that. So yeah, at this stage, it doesn't cost anything. That is a once-off $99 annual fee, but that's currently waived at the moment. So it won't cost you anything to sign up as a partner. I might just leave it there for the questions, and I will come back and answer them, the rest of them for you, I think, either via email or phone call, because there's quite a few to go.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Thanks for all the questions. So we'll follow up with Sky and send an email with kind of the responses to those questions. So thanks a lot, Sky. That was great, and thanks for taking the time to really answer those questions in details. And for
no worries. Thanks for having me, and thanks for everyone that that joined in today too.
You're welcome. Thanks, Kai. And for everyone that's interested in the next webinar, we'll be talking about lodgings, which is for lodging tax. So thanks, everyone. Have a good morning and looking forward to see you again.